Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Melancholy Crypto. Today I wanted to go over the cryptocurrency meta. Um, so yeah, join along with me, get your coffee out. I'm gonna try and do my best to cover this subject. You'll have to forgive me because I'm not the most qualified person to be talking about the subject. I'm just someone with a hobby in cryptocurrency. So forgive me if I'm not doing justice on the subject. But yeah, I hope you'll enjoy. Um, Okay, first things first, we need to define what a meta is. So, from the dictionary, showing or suggesting an explicit awareness of itself or oneself as a member of its category. So, you can think about the meta as the environment in which everything is happening. And so, with cryptocurrency, there are all sorts of metas. There's the financial meta, so what's happening with global finances. There's the political meta, so what's happening with geopolitics. There's uh, there's so many different levels of meta that you can go to or you can think about that are all having an influence on cryptocurrency. So whether that's what people are talking about or what's in style, or there's 100 different ways you can define this. So I would say the ultimate secret to figuring out cryptocurrency and to strategizing for the future or preparing yourself for the future is to be aware of the meta. What is going on? So that's what I'm going to try and do today, and I hope you appreciate it. Okay, so first of all, let's watch this clip from Charles Hoskinson talking about cryptocurrency. I think it's extremely relevant.
Now, first, with respect to asking a banker about whether they like Bitcoin or not, that's kind of like asking a king, do you like democracy? It's just so thoroughly frustrating and insulting when people who know very little about what we do watch an up-and-coming technology and have the audacity to call us all criminals. You know, we're not the criminals here. The whole damn reason this ecosystem exists is because they're the criminals. And it doesn't really matter at this point what he thinks. The genie's out of the bottle. Somebody in this room or somebody at this conference or somebody around the world is going to solve the problem of decentralized lending and value-stable currencies and decentralized exchange. And within 5 to 10 years, banks will become less and less relevant, just like landline telephones are becoming less and less relevant. And we're going to wake up one day and we're going to be in charge of our own money. And Jamie Dimon, in retirement, can watch the world as it is, not the world as he would like it to be. Now, first.
Okay. Wow. One awesome clip. I really feel like he just nails that, doesn't he? I think what I got out of that is that I guess I would say that Bitcoin is this natural adaptation as a direct result of the handling of our financial system, right? I think because our government and our financial institutions have been irresponsible enough to allow so much risk and to be so greedy that we can't trust them, right? You have to create a system that doesn't have such a wide gap, such a wide margin of failure. And so I think what cryptocurrency does, the problem it's solving, the way it fits into the global finance system is that it's removing the power from the top 1%, the oligarchy, the governments, the bankers, you're removing this point of failure, right? You don't need to trust one single entity to it's removing point of failure. So the thing to think about is who is losing power, who's losing out in this scenario. And the answer is governments and traditional financial institutions like banks. So these are the people who have the most incentive to attack cryptocurrency. And so that's when you'll see certain regulations saying like the US doesn't allow non-approved stablecoins, right? Because they want to control the power. They want to control the narratives. They want to put themselves in the center of everything again. And so yeah, if everything's decentralized and fair, then they have just as much say as everyone else, right? Their influence is mitigated. Okay. Um, so I would like to say that I talk about the U.S. and the banking system a lot, but the ones who should really benefit the most from cryptocurrency are people who have tight capital control. So if you think about countries with the most unbanked people, like Bangladesh, India, Africa, all these all these countries have millions and millions of people who don't have access to banks or to the traditional finance system, and so they're very heavily reliant on cash. So their meta is the lack of a financial institution. So whereas here in the US, our meta is the overly the overabundance of financial involvement, right? The government is wants to overregulate everything. In places like Africa, it's kind of the other way around, where well, I guess it's not the other way around. They have tight capital control, so they don't let like in China, they don't let you withdraw money from that country. And so cryptocurrency is a way to transfer value out of that country. Or if you're in Africa, if you want to do commerce but you don't want to carry around money like physical cash with you, or maybe you're in India and the government decides, ooh, the our hundred our certain currency now, it's out of, we don't want to use that anymore. So everyone with that no longer can use it. So that's a thing that really happened. They really did ban their own currency for like a week, or on just with no notice up front. So yeah, this is the catalyst for adoption. This is the meta that you need to think about is um who benefits the most from this, right? Who are the people that are going to use this? And right now, it's the vulnerable, it's the needy, it's the underdeveloped. And yeah, so let's read this article a bit. So, catalyst for adoption. Despite Africa's currently underdeveloped infrastructure, there are several major catalysts that are conducive to widespread adoption of cryptocurrency over the next decade. Many of these are unique to the African continent and present an excellent opportunity for projects that can leverage the region's potential. So, high inflation. Inflation rates across Africa have historically been much higher than the global average. So, if you are not the global reserve currency, which literally every country except the United States isn't, you stand to benefit the most from cryptocurrency, right? So, the American financial institutions can print money, right? If you're the Federal Reserve, if you have a bunch of debt, and literally everyone in the world wants to buy your debt, then you can just take out as much leverage as you want. But if you're in a underdeveloped economy, then you can't just print money, and so when your government issues debt, you're paying the tax for that. Whereas in the U.S., I think most countries will buy our bonds, most countries will pay our debt. Maybe not so much going forward, but yeah. So if you could just use a currency that couldn't be devalued and that isn't controlled by your government and is accepts everyone, and you don't need any proof of authentication, like you don't need your ID to use it. Literally anyone can use it. So it's perfect. Oh, I forgot. I had this wonderful image I wanted to show. I don't know if I can find it. Man, there was an image on this document that I really wanted to share, but now I can't find it. That's unfortunate. That's all right. We'll just move on. This is a really great article, though. I would love to share this more. It's the state of crypto Africa. I'll put the links in the description if you want to read this yourself. Arcane Research came out in 2020. There's so much in this article that I want to go over because I think this is a perfect article. Yeah, so let's again look at what are some of the causes. What countries are looking at? Okay, if we want to go meta, let's go meta. Let's look at Google search trends. So we are looking at what people are interested in. So if we go into Google search trends and we look at Bitcoin and we sort by worldwide, we can see countries with the most interest: Nigeria, South Africa, Austria, Switzerland, Ghana. So maybe not Switzerland, but the rest of these countries have a couple things in common, right? Capital control, developing economy, and they're very cash-heavy countries. So all these people, again, their financial institutions are ripe for cryptocurrency adoption. Um, yeah, that's something you just got to think about. Like, what problems are being solved? What in the future? What things are going to be utilized the most? So there are different classifications of cryptocurrency. So there's and each variation of cryptocurrency could be utilized for different things. So when I think about what I'm investing in, you have to think about the meta. So do you want to invest in DeFi? Because DeFi is extremely popular right now and it's extremely trendy. I would say the 2020 meta is very much defined by DeFi, right? We saw a huge explosion in money locked up in DeFi. So yeah, if I had to make an argument about what the current meta is, I would just say it's DeFi. So to answer my own question, what is the cryptocurrency meta? Pretty much this is the answer, is right now people are looking for decentralized protocols that completely remove any need for any centralized organization. In the future though, going forward, I do think that there is some room for centralized finance. So as governments come and get involved in the cryptocurrency space, they're gonna probably regulate out a lot of these decentralized protocols, in my opinion. I we are already seeing the U.S. trying to regulate the cryptocurrency industry by requiring verification, and what that tells me is that in the future they're probably not going to want to use DeFi, right? They don't like this. This is the furthest thing from government control as you can get. So that's why when I'm thinking about what cryptocurrency I'm buying, I'm not only just buying DeFi, I'm also buying centralized finance because I think U.S. government regulations going forward are going to benefit the most from that. Um, Centralized finance, decentralized finance. What else is there? There's scalability. So think about as more people adopt cryptocurrency, they're going to want a cryptocurrency that scales. Um, there's security. So if people just want the security that comes with cryptocurrency, they're probably going to choose something like Bitcoin. So maybe something to think about is in the future, are people going to value that more than other things? Are people going to look for platforms where they can produce their own cryptocurrencies? So yeah, I mean, is it the utility? Is it the application? Do they need a platform? I think most countries are probably going to want to produce their own stablecoins, right? They don't want to just use whatever everyone else made. They're going to want to create their own and have their own capital controls or control the properties of their own crypto or their own like central bank digital currency. So if you have a smart contracts platform like Ethereum or like Cardano or like there's hundreds of more, there's like Neo or whatever, then you can probably use those platforms to create your own stablecoin. And so a lot of countries just getting into the game are probably going to use those. So I'm not the smartest person. I can't predict the future. I'm just saying this is how, if you want to invest in cryptocurrency and you want to be smart about it, this is how you be smart about it. You have to think about the meta. Yeah, so scalability, privacy is another thing. You have to think about will the meta allow for privacy? The reason I haven't invested heavily in privacy coins is because I think it's the first cryptocurrency that is going to get regulated out. It's going to be immediately banned by government. Whether or not it still thrives, maybe, let's say there's some geopolitical factors that go into it, right? Let's say the US is banning all foreign cryptocurrencies, like from China or from Europe, and then China is banning all foreign cryptocurrencies, like from America and Australia or whatever. Then a privacy coin might benefit from that environment, right? If you just need every country wants to remain anonymous and they want to be opaque, so they don't want other countries to see what they're doing with their money, they might invest in privacy coins. It's not impossible. So you just have to think about the macroeconomic meta, right? Yeah. These are the kind of things I'm trying to think about. it's kind of abstract, and I just want to I don't know. There's so many things that are at play right now. It just depends on which meta you are the most interested in. What do you care about the most? So I personally like the lack of financial services, such as banks and digital payments, are the things I care about the most. So banking the unbanked. So what I want to do is invest in cryptocurrencies that solve this problem. And I guess right now that is decentralized protocols. I guess. I don't really know. To be honest, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know the solution. I don't have the answers. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried my best to cover this subject. It's extremely difficult. I hope you have generally a better understanding of what the meta is, or trying to think, like, thinking about thinking is a really important subject, and everyone should give it a try, right? Yeah. I hope you. All right, and I'm getting in the video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.